This is your announcer, Chuck Landington, welcoming you to the Metal Injection Livecast. Marilyn Manson played a hip-hop fest this week. So sad. These hard rock stars keep trying to find a way to get Rob to attend their shows. It's not going to happen, pal. Rob gave up on fests about 3 years before he gave up on rock music. Better luck next time, Marilyn. Anyway, here's the Metal Injection Livecast.
That's not entirely accurate. I will explain. But welcome to the Metal Injection Livecast. It's Rob, here with Noah.
Are you sure it wasn't Halsey?
What? No.
She
Sid.
dressed up as Marilyn Manson.
Oh, no.
It was your article.
What about her? No. It was Marilyn Manson that played the festival. That was a Halloween party she did.
This show's just going to be Rob and Noah yelling at each other.
About Halsey.
Sid and I are going to go
Is it
to Roller
Halsey?
Roaster.
What?
Is it Halsey?
No, that's Hailstorm.
Hailstorm. Okay, great. That's Sid.
Hey.
And we also got Darren.
Yeah, we're also here.
No, when you say that was Rob's article, do you mean it was actually Lambgoat's article?
No, I wrote about
Lambgo
it.
would never write about Halsey dressing up as Marilyn Manson. That's clickbait.
There is a
Wow.
They wouldn't.
there's a Rob at Lambo.
But I would
too.
argue
that's
it's not
who
clickbait.
she reads Rob's column at Lambo.
Well-
Different Rob.
I will say I was pleasantly surprised because it means that Rob has to follow Halsey on like Instagram or something to
I
see
do
that
not.
post. So how did you find out about it?
Some other website wrote about it.
He was big. He
Actually,
was
I will
credit
credit the PRP wrote about it. Another
What does
excellent.
that stand for?
It's just the PRP now, like KFC, but it used to stand for, I believe, the Pimp Rock Palace. Not confirmed.
Wow, really? Oh,
What?
He's been doing that site since like the new metal days. So,
God.
he is thanked on the Alien Ant Farm record.
They
Because he was the
were
first
they
one. He
new
was the
metal?
first one to write about them. Yeah, they were. I mean, they were in
weren't
that.
metal
They were
at
in that
all.
era.
They were like
They were active rock.
pop punk.
But to Chuck Blandington's point,
Yes.
yes, I did get over festivals before going to show. I was like, I just want to see one bit. My ideal show is finding out the set times, showing up 10 minutes before the band I want to see shows up, enough time to get a drink,
And then
find
leaving
my
10
spot.
minutes before they finish?
No, and then leaving as they finish. Ideally, they wouldn't even be the headliner.
Where
so
do they finish?
uh,
All over his penis and face.
But and like I would hate fest because it's like, oh, so long, blah blah blah. So it's such a ripoff. But I will say, now I've kind of come back around on festivals because I don't go to shows so often. It's a good way to like just get it out of my system. You know, see a bunch of bands I want to see and then call it a day.
But how often are there fests where there are a bunch of bands you want to see?
Yeah.
What was the
next
last
year?
time that
Next year, in May, I'm gonna travel with Metal Injection co-owner Frank Kodla to, I believe, Sonic Temple
Where's that?
in Columbus, Ohio,
Oh, God.
or
Oh.
Cleveland, or Columbus, somewhere.
Good luck with that. Who's playing that?
It's a field. What does it matter where it is? It's not like,
Who's playing?
well, right now the only band confirmed.
Ziploc colostomy bag.
Uh-huh.
All over my penis and face.
The only band confirmed so far is Metallica, and they're playing 2 nights and 2 completely different sets. So that's enough to convince me. And I'm assuming now with the reunion news, I bet Rage Against the Machine will probably play, and just like all the available bands. I bet System of a Down will play. But that's just me speculating. There's no.
Hello, Cleveland. Columbus.
I mean,
where are we?
Those bills always have like a pretty decent like bill of all the bands that are pretty much touring, like all the big available bands of that season. So just get it all out.
Okay, I have a question. I raised my hand and you didn't pick on me. When you go to these festivals, are you going to have like the pedestrian experience or are you going to have like the VIP Rob from Metal Injection
Noah,
experience?
what do you think?
Oh, come on.
I mean, that's a pretty dumb question.
No, because you said...
No, I would. I mean, at Sonic Temple, the other big appealing thing is I would have the press experience.
I will say,
Oh.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I, in Rob's defense on this one, I will say the pedestrian experience at a fest is like being at Auschwitz. It is torturous.
I think it's a lot better now. Like they do understand the experience, like that it's more of an experience.
But if I had
in
the
years
choice
past.
between those two things, I would definitely take the VIP experience.
Most of the time, yes, but sometimes you just don't want to deal with the people in VIP.
Oh, it's that bad?
Not necessarily. It just depends on the situation. Sometimes it's like you just assess what the crowd is going to be like, the press crowd,
I see.
let's say, and it's like, oh, I don't want to run into this.
There's
person.
people you know that you have drama with, and that
Not
kind of thing?
necessarily drama, just don't want to hear their spiel.
I see. They're hawking shit to you, like
Sometimes, I mean,
business
some
stuff?
people, yeah. I mean, people always. There's always people. I'm not saying necessarily to me, but everyone's pitching everybody there. You know,
Well,
and,
Yelp
you do
pages
that?
they want you to check out.
huh?
They got Yelp pages they want you to check out.
while kissing your neck lightly.
I've definitely had like these weird experiences at the award shows, and like, I mean, it's been a while, but where it would be somebody from a smaller band or something, and also this would be at a point where I'm like pretty lit up. I'm like drunk, like I'm not at 0.0% in business mode, and then like get introduced to this person, and then come to find out that like we didn't like post their video,
Oh,
like they
boy.
start like
Don't you just
stepping to me, you
Don't
know,
you
for
just
lack of a
blame,
better term.
blame Pepe for all that?
I don't blame
Like, I'm not a
anybody.
judge of that.
I'm
That's
just like,
Pepe's
dude,
deal.
this is not the way to go about this. You know, like
what would be the way if they're listening now and they're curious? If it's
Don't
not
do it.
Don't
the
take it
one
personal.
time you
I would
see
say-
the guy in person, talk to him about it. What's the other option?
Well, I don't think a confrontation, like if somebody hasn't written about your band, a confrontation isn't going to convince
Would
them.
you write about the confrontation?
No.
Oh,
Oh.
well then that's
Well,
disappointing.
would you tell Axel or Vince Nielstein to write about the confrontation?
No. I mean, if it was never like a physical confrontation, it would just be like, you know.
So that's what they should do? A physical conversation?
Yeah,
right,
we
yeah.
could try that.
If we turn it into a story, then
That's what I'm saying.
If you're listening, the correct way to confront Rob is lift up his shirt and tweak his nipples and go booga booga booga.
Give him a wet willy.
no wet willies, please. But I do want to mention actually that we have a guest calling in just a little bit. We're calling him technically Stray from the Path guitarist Tom Williams will be calling into the show. Very excited to have him on the show. They just released Internal Atomics, so we'll talk about that and some other fun stuff in just a little bit. But yeah, so I've had that. That's been weird. I've been introduced to somebody, and then in my head be like, how do I know this name? And then I'm like, oh, I did not write flattering things about this person. And then I would like try
Was
to
it
like.
Frankie Palmieri?
It was not.
No, he
Frankie
knows that
Palmieri.
name.
Yeah, I'm
There would
familiar
be
with
no
him.
problem.
No,
with
but
that
he
name.
acts like he doesn't know your name.
As me.
No, I act like I don't know his name.
Was it Donald Trump?
But to be fair, having situations like that has been a bit of a reality check for me in terms of shit talking of like, oh, you have to assume, like I've come to learn, you have to assume that whatever shit talking you're writing, this person will read. And I mean, this sounds a bit more dramatic, but like, are you okay with this person seeing what you're writing about them? And it's prevented me from like pointless shit talk because I feel like when I'm writing the blogs, in a sense, you are kind of writing in character. Like it's not like the character that I'm writing as.
Are you
is
saying
that-
you're the Perez Hilton of metal?
I'm not saying it's that much different than my actual personality, but like you play things up. Whereas in the past I would be a bit more sarcastic, I feel like over time I've developed a more neutral tone because I feel it's kind of unfair to the band and like the fans of the band to like be kind of snobby and insulting the band when it's like I don't passionately feel that way. Like if somebody does something I disagree with like Phil Labonte, I have no qualms about what I've written about him because I passionately disagree with him.
You say that until he has a rifle in your face.
Yeah.
though.
That would be a story. That I would write.
You wouldn't be around to see it
Yeah,
published.
exactly.
I don't think he would pull the trigger.
Yeah, but he's, I don't think he'd
And
intentionally.
if he
pull the trigger.
would, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with dying.
I don't think he'd intentionally do it.
It's
but,
not by his hand.
Gun mishaps happen every week
Sure.
and day, Rob.
As long as it's relatively painless. I've done enough.
A death wish. Oh my god.
I don't have a death
Are
wish.
you all right?
I'm
It's
great.
like you're okay with dying.
I'm not afraid of dying, I would say.
Yeah, but you don't want to die from some dipshit coming to attack
What
you
about
over a metal
babka?
injection
Think
article.
Of babka.
That should be
Yeah.
all right. Would you take babka? I think you would.
She would take Babka in a
You're
heartbeat.
gonna take her anyway before you die.
She
Yeah.
might be the one that pulls the trigger for me if she gets Babka.
You thought I was Phil Labonte. Let me remove this mask. Oh my god, it's Noah.
No, it's just another Philibante mask. You remove
But under
mask.
that is Noah.